people when come to me, usually they don't realize they had some type of trauma. They will say, look, I'm suffering with depression, I'm suffering with this, I'm suffering with that, and I'm feeling lost. And as we explore more, it's clear that they had some childhood trauma. Usually it's childhood trauma. Some stuff they might forget, some stuff they might not be even aware, some stuff they might be like, yeah, but that's in the past, that's whatever happened. Yes, it's in the past. Many of you don't even know that you have experienced trauma. You are living your life like it's something was just happened to you and something that you actually normalized. No, whatever happened to you, it happened, but number one, you did not deserve it. Number two, if it hurt you, if it was really traumatic, it should never happen. But because it did, we are then tend to go about our life because this happened to me. We direct this to ourselves and we start to blame ourselves, and subconsciously we start to taking this attack on us. So we really subconsciously attacking ourselves, blaming ourselves for, you know what, this happened to me, so there must be something wrong with me. Because this happened to me, I can't do things. Because this happened to me, I can't be in a happy relationship. Because this happened to me, there's nothing I can do. And this is exactly what I want to talk to you about this mindset. Because whatever happened to you, my dear, it was not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. And whatever happened, number one, it's not your fault. It should never happen. But don't blame yourself. You're carrying on this burden of life being not fair to you, but leave it, drop it. Like, this is not who you are, number one. You are not your trauma. You're not what happened to you. And you telling yourself that there's something wrong with you because this has happened, you're only hurting yourself then. Try to kind of reverse it and use it. So rather saying like, okay, this trauma happened, and rather than me telling myself that this is my fault, that there's something wrong with me, and because this happened, I can't do something, what if you would use it to be the reason why you can do something? So let's say I'm gonna leave the childhood trauma for a while, and let's say just go back to the adulthood life. And let's say some of you might be in a relationship that you're not quite happy in that relationship, but you're telling yourself, I have kids with this person, I'm not happy, but I need to stay. And you're kind of making yourself believing that you can't do something because you're in this situation. How would you feel if you would reverse the situation and say to yourself, okay, because I'm not happy and because I have kids with this person, this is going to be a reason why I'm leaving. Because number one, I'm showing my kids that yes, they will be prioritized, and I'm showing them that they need to prioritize themselves as well. Yes, I'm leaving, but that doesn't mean I need to finish a relationship with my children. You see, it's up to you. Like, whatever happened to you, whatever situation you are in, it's up to you how you're going to approach it. I recently heard that someone can't go on a holiday because they have 3 kids. Like, you know, like it's easy for someone who has one child, or it's easy to just go on a holiday when you don't have children. And I can't go really on a holiday because it's, you know, like, it's too expensive and they shouldn't be. Well, make it a reason. Rather than excuse, make it to be the reason why you actually should go on a holiday. And they were like, what do you mean? Like, show them a word. Like, you need actually a holiday as well to relax, to kind of take things easy. And what did she do? She actually booked a holiday. So I'm delighted. But that's the whole point. Like, don't make yourself believe that because something happened, you can't do something, you can't be somewhere, you can't chase your dreams. No. Take whatever happened to you, take it and make it for your advantage. So rather than your trauma making you weaker, it can make you stronger. It can. And I am the reason. Like, I'm not the reason. I'm talking too much talking about the reasons. I'm your evidence that it can be done. I have experienced lots of trauma, and I'm not going to talk about this right now. I'm not ready to share those stuff. But I didn't make it I didn't allow that to be an excuse why I can't do something. Believe me, there was time in my life when I was completely shithole. There was. Am I in that now? Absolutely not. Why? Because I made that, I took it. And I didn't allow that to broke me completely. I'm like, you know what? Like, no, this is still my life. I still have so many years to live. And I'm not living like this. So I took my life to hands. I'm like, you know what? The steering wheel, I'm driving it. So treat your life like this is your car. Would you allow somebody else driving, like steering your steering wheel like your car, if you're sitting on the front seat? Like somebody from the back would be like, yeah, you take that steering wheel, I will just, you're going to crash. You wouldn't allow that in with your car. So why are you allowing this with your life? Why are you allowing people to tell you what to do? Why are you allowing people to tell you what you can and what you can't do? Oh, my dear. Your life, I always say this, your life belongs to you. And only you. Don't be afraid of taking it. And take an ownership of yourself, of who you are, or your decisions. It doesn't have to be so, well, it will be difficult. When you let's be honest, like every change will require your work. Every change is going to be tough at the beginning. But then, once that won't last forever, because you're in charge and you know where you're going to, like you know where you're heading. Like, if you decide that you want to be happy, like if you decide you going to change your life for the better, if you decide you're going to be happy, if you decide that from now on you're making decisions and you're no more afraid, who is going to stop you? Let's be honest. Who has more power about your life than you and yourself about you? You're very welcome there. You're very welcome. No one. So this is it. Like, this is you. You are not your trauma. Like, you got to sit with yourself and ask, like, what do I want for myself? Stop considering every single person around you. Every single person that is going to give you any advice on how you're supposed to live your life, number one, it's never going to be objective. Because when the minute you're going to ask someone what you should do, they analyzing this, like the brain goes like, okay, so back to where was I? And then they project their own needs that were probably not met at that situation, and they're going to tell you, oh, you should be doing this, like you should not leave because it will be too tough, you're going to fight about the house. What's more important, your happiness or the house? Like, there are lawyers, there are people who can help you sort those things out. It's time, my dear, for you to start prioritizing yourself. Put everyone on the same layer. Like, don't put them on the pedestal. You don't deserve to have other people but yourself on the pedestal, because when you start doing it, your life no longer belongs to you. And some of you might be parents, and you're probably going to think, okay, if I'm a parent, how can I not prioritize my children? How can I not have them on the pedestal? Very good question. This is exactly what you can't do. Yes, your kids can be still very important to you. Your kids can be still very much your half of your world, but they can't be all your world. Because, stay with me, your kids are not belong to you. You don't own, you don't owe them. There will be time when they will be actually leaving you. And then if you make them your whole world, you are going to be left with nothing. And rather than empowering your children and tell them, yes, you can do things, you will be too needy, too afraid to let them go and be like, no, don't leave me, like, I need you. And you're gonna guilt trip them, and you're going to be manipulative because you will not want to leave them. And you don't want to be that parent. So, healthy boundaries with your children is very important. Yes, we're going to have lovely time together when it's all going to be all about you. And we're going to spend loads of quality time together. We're going to go for what we're going to have. Yes, when you need me, I'm going to be there. But also you need to know I am my own human and I need sometimes my time for myself. Like how many times I saw mothers, let's say they won't even have time to have half an hour during a day to have a coffee. Because they're too afraid to tell their kids, give me like 15-20 minutes. You go and play by 20 minutes by yourself. And after that, I will be all in with you. Kids, do they know time? No, they don't. And they'll be like trying to push your boundaries. But then you hold it. So then they know, oh, my mother is actually holding boundaries. And maybe this is like, I'm still alive, like she's very much, I can see her, she's very much there, but I can't talk to her for 20 minutes. The world isn't that. And, you know, this is another example I'm going to give it to you from my own experience, I'm a mother of two, my son is teenager, and my daughter, she is 10. And I always did that with my kids. I always had boundaries with my children. Even though before I was psychotherapist, I still had the me time. I had to do it. Maybe it was selfish, maybe it wasn't. But now I can see that my kids actually use it very well. Because now my daughter, she's more aware of the time of the week. And, you know, and she was... One day I was actually at the beginning of this year, I think, or maybe it was actually December. She's like, Mom, you know what? I realized something. I'm like, okay, what was it, Julia? And she said, week has 7 days. I'm like, yeah, like you're 10. You should, that's what's in my head, like, you should know that. But I'm like, okay, yes, and she said to me, and you're only off on Monday and Saturday and Sunday. So it means I only have 3 evenings with you. Because I'm going to school and then we have 2 days. But we have 2 full days and only 1 evening when I come back from school. And like, good point there. Like, how will I, like, what will I, like, how will I say it? Like, okay, and so what are you really telling me? Like, yes, those are facts, but what is your point? Like, what are you telling me? I was like, okay, what is your point? And she said to me, Mom, I actually want to spend more time with you. Like, this is, like, no. And I said, okay, we can make it happen, but tell me what would satisfy you. Like, would another day, so we would have like full 2 days and you would have 2 evenings. So it means you will have 4 evenings and 4, like 2 full days and 2 evenings with me. Would that be enough for you? I was like, yeah, I can do that. So then I did make a promise to her that I will reduce my working hours. And I told her, like, okay, I will do it, but I can't do it straight away. And I said, give me 1 month to organize this. Like, I need to organize my diary around it, and I will do it. What did she do? Every single Wednesday, she was telling me, is that the Wednesday yet? And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, but do you remember? Like, you remember, yes? So she then was very much aware of the boundaries. Like, yes, okay, she will make it happen. And she really held me on it. There was one time that I actually finished work earlier, so I didn't work this late. I came home and she wasn't asleep, and she said, oh, you're home? I'm like, yes. And she said to me, that's fine, I can see you make an effort. And I'm like, oh my god, you're 10 and you see so much. So, again, like, make your kid, like, use them to be the reason, not to be an excuse. It's so easy to say, no, I can't. It's so easy to say, But, and you know, if I would take that lesson, like that conversation, that lesson from my daughter, she taught me something here. She taught me to find a balance. That's the one thing. She taught me to maybe look after, like, my family, but also my business, my work, my clients. So she helped me to find a balance. And if I wouldn't listen, if I would dismiss it, I wouldn't get that message. But I took it from her. And you can take those lessons from your own kids, from your own experiences. But it's up to you whether you're going to listen or not. Remember, your life is always belonging to you. There's no way someone can tell you what to do or what you can't do. Only you can do this. Only you. If the minute you're going to tell yourself you can't, your subconsciousness is listening and it will take this as your truth. So you can't. If you say I can't, then guess what? You probably will not be able to do it. But if you would say, you know what, I actually can, like, why not? Your whole perception will actually change. So what I'm trying to say, take control. Take control of who you are. Take control of your life. Don't be afraid of claiming the ownership of your life. Because you deserve to feel alive. You deserve to take ownership. And don't think that this is selfish. It's not. I'm not talking about this right now. You can go back to my previous lives, videos, when I was talking about self-care, self-love, why this is not selfish. You can go back and actually listen to it if you would like. But I'm just trying to say, it's time for you to prioritize yourself. and stop feeling guilty about it. It's your birthright to actually prioritize yourself, to look after yourself. Because if you want to do it, no one else will do it for you. And stop using other people or your circumstances or your past to be your excuse of why you can't do something. You can. And make it, whatever happened to your past, whatever childhood you had, whatever situation you are in right now, whether you're, I don't know, like whatever situation, whatever circumstances you are in right now, make it to be the reason for you to do things. For you. For you.